Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, we're going to start off with my LGBTQ plus community. I love and adore you. Happy Pride Month. I'm with you. I love you. I support you. And just know that even though, people are trying to, let's just say what MAGA's trying to do, what the Republicans are trying to do, we will have your back as much as humanly possible. And you don't deserve some of the hatred and judgment. And it's crazy how right now some of the Republicans are trying to vote in child marriage so that fewer men go to prison for doing to kids what they're accusing you of doing. And these are Republican states that are trying to do this. And then a few of them have been arrested for doing the same thing they've been accusing LGBTQ community of doing. yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that because now I'm starting to have a bad taste in my mouth because of the disgust that I have over these hypocritical, no good, shady, just grimy bigots. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay. And also, with what's going on in California, stay safe, be safe. And there's so many more things I want to say. Some things that you might not want to hear, because I do have to say I'm part of the 92%. And I'm part of the 92% that's highly disappointed, but at the same time, I hope that this shows that once we can finally get through this, that we need to come together, we need to communicate. And also, I hope you understand that Black people should not be hated as much as we get hated. It's like sometimes I feel like every nationality, other than Black, like Black people look down on us so badly. And then even some Black people look down on themselves and on their demographic so badly. But then you have to look at our history and look at all of the things we've been through. And people want to try to accuse us of not being smart enough. But we've been smart enough to not only get through slavery and have to rebuilding cities so many countless times, and then having to dodge and duck. And like even with the Green Book, smart enough to create a plan so that when people traveled, that they were going to be able to travel accordingly. Yeah. And then sit-ins, protests, like the Black Panther, like there's so many things that show how strong and wonderful and brilliant our demographic is. And our beauty, but our beauty is normally overshadowed, or it is taken advantage of, or let's just say it's complicated. It's complicated. But with what's going on in California right now and what our person in charge is trying to do, it's appalling, disgusting, despicable. I'm just hoping that once we can get through this, that maybe we can all just come together, have a sit down, and show love and compassion for each other and understanding. Because I feel like with the whole colonization culture and how the Caucasian European culture demographics that came and stole this land and eliminated so many people in inhumane ways, enslaved people. It's just amazing how they are praised. They are looked at as being above everyone. And it's just shocking how everyone is uplifted by them, but at the same time, many of them voted against you. Many of them are excited and they're happy and they're cheering on exactly what is going on. But at the same time, many of you who voted for this orange man to be in office You say you didn't vote for this, but this is exactly what the many of the white counterparts of the MAGA movement voted on. A lot of them are excited and happy that this is going on, and they want it to continue. And they're so excited to have the new white Africans come over to this country. And some of them are even trying to say what the difference is between white Africans and brown people from South America. And again, I don't want to keep saying we told you so, but Project 2025, we told you so. And so I'm going to do other episodes on this, but just know we didn't want this. Like the 92%, we didn't want this. We don't like this at all. And we feel bad for many of the people who did not believe us or trust us, or because, well, I know I keep saying another episode, but it's just disheartening how even on dating apps, Hispanic men would tell me that I was stupid for voting Democrat and how they are Republican forever. And I remember one specifically has, I don't know if he took it down, but has a Cuban flag in his profile. But I mean, I hope the best for, because yeah, some of them called me dummies, idiots, the R word, and so many other things. I hope they stay safe. I have no idea what their immigration status is, but at the end of the day, I hope they are safe. And I hope they're at least near some loved ones and people they know. And well, I'll just get on to the subject, but I know I at least had to cover that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, wow. I know about a year ago, I think it's been I'll say around maybe 8 months to a year ago, I did a 2 or 3 part series all about women and what they go through with pregnancy. I have not been through pregnancy. I've wanted kids. I've wanted kids for so long, but I grew up in the highly conservative church. It's like you have to be married, you have to wait until you're married, and all of the other things. And very conservative household. And I didn't even go on my first date until my sophomore or junior year in college. But I've already told the story about that one. Yeah, that's the one where, well, I would just say look up the episodes. I think I put the church guy in the title. I forgot, but yeah, that's the same guy who, when he finally got married, I was so happy when he got married. My mom told me that I had to go see them after church and shake his wife's hand and everything. And how I got in so much trouble because I didn't care. Like, I shook her hand and I just stood there. Like, my mom was trying to have full conversations with both of them, trying to make me jealous. Years later, she was so upset. She was still upset that I was not jealous or that I was happy to not be with this man anymore. And I'll talk about him again because that, even though it wasn't that long of a relationship and or breakup and or entrapment into trying to get me back with him, there are so many lessons I learned. There are so many lessons I learned. And one of those is I want to marry. Well, I don't want to marry anymore, but back then I wanted to marry someone who I would be able to laugh with, enjoy my time with, have some similar hobbies with. And even my bishop at church, he would talk about this because they would have their dating series and all this other stuff, but it's like his wife would go hunting with him, and I think a couple other things as well, but I just remember how they would show pictures of her in her hunting gear, and I was like, oh, that's really cute, that's sweet. And well, before I keep going, yeah, I If you see the link for to go straight to this other YouTube video, watch it, because it's heartbreaking with how so many men put down women after their bodies went through it. Like I said, I already have like a 2 or 3 part series on this subject, because that's one thing I keep noticing and I keep hearing, how men keep saying women have to stay beautiful, women have to stay pretty. But then a lot of them look like a hot mess. Some of them don't look attractive. And then some of them, they don't have any money, and they're not attractive, and their sense of humor is lacking or awful or terrible, and or their communication level is off, or it's just to the point where, well, why did you like this person in the first place? And with a lot of men, they only look for looks. They don't look for compatibility. So once that woman has the baby, the only reason why they married them is gone. And one guy in the video even said, it's like if you just walk around with a hair bun on your head and pajamas, like we're gonna start looking for pretty things. Our eyes are gonna be searching and looking whatever, or lurking and stuff. And it's just like, oh. And yes, he was like, I don't want a part-time sex. That was really what had me just, because, okay, are are you working? Is she working? Also, if she just had a baby, because some of these men are even complaining a week after the baby. She is now going through postpartum depression. Her body is still trying to heal. It's like, sorry to break it to you, but her lower area is still like, it is now just kind of trying to like get itself back together, figuratively and literally. And it's like she's kind of at a low point. Like self-esteem might be lower. She might have some anxiety or being nervous around you, because now her body has changed some. And yes, she over time she can lose weight. But over time, do not rush her. Because if you don't know the mindset, if you don't know her hormones, if you don't know, especially her body is new, like she now has a mother body. Once you are a mother, your body is like, it might have changed. It's like, I mean, your feet can get bigger. You like, some women have to take so many more vitamins because your teeth can fall out. I remember working at one of my jobs, and there was a woman who was pregnant at the school, but I think she ended up having to have 2 or 3 teeth pulled, because the baby was taking so many vitamins out of her body, that is like, the body just takes it from wherever it is, and it was in her teeth, so it took it. But I don't know, I'm just, guys, men, why would you make a woman feel so awful and terrible after she risked having a baby with you? You don't know the pain, and also 9 months carrying that baby. It's like this country is trying to take away our rights already. But then at the end of the day, you don't want to appreciate and thank her, because a woman's body is going to go through it. It's like, it's just so astounding and traumatic with how we have passport bros, because men say women are too masculine and they're not going to be submissive or follow their orders or do what they want them to do. But then it's like, if you do find, or some of the men, once they do find a woman and then they have the baby, then they're just like, okay, now it's time for you to get back to it as soon as I snap my fingers. You need to do it faster, because I need to lust over you again. The only use you are in my life is to lust over. I didn't marry you for your brain or conversation or sense of humor or any of your talents or any of the things we do together as hobbies. I married you for your body. But then some people wonder, or a lot of men blame me for being single. With Mr. No Heart. It's like I already knew I wanted to adopt and foster by then because, especially meeting especially his youngest daughter, I was like, no, I don't want one of, and I didn't want anybody related to her. So, but then he threatened me, told me that if I wanted kids, he was gonna break up with me. But this was year 3 or 4 into our relationship. And having a disability, I'm scared because I'm scared of being single. But then with other guys, with other men, I've had men who only want to date me because I didn't have kids. And so they wanted to impregnate me and put a baby in me. And some men who see that I'm light complexion and they want light babies. And so they tell me the only reason they want to date me is so they can have light babies, which is insulting and stupid and disgusting because that's not how, especially with African Americans, that's not how it works. Yeah, if you look at my family tree, that's not how it looks. And that's not how DNA works. Things skip around all the time. Oh, but a lot of these men don't use their brains. Yeah, yeah. Oopsie, yeah, they don't. But I've had men tell me some of the most stupid, idiotic reasons why they would want to have a baby with me. And the problem is, that's how they start the conversation on dating apps, that they want to just put a baby in me. It's like, oh, white, Asian, black. Oh, I've had a couple Middle Eastern, only a couple Middle Eastern, but yeah, it's like, 'cause I'm not trying to put yeah, most black men say I'm too white, too proper, and stuff like that anyway. So I'm not gonna let you guys just think these are all black men I'm talking about, because now a lot of these men are white that I'm talking about specifically. But yeah, it's like I don't date by race or nationality, so yeah, I've run into this because I've even had I want to date you because you plus me would make a beautiful mixed baby. And so then I kind of feel like, okay, you're not interested in me, you're interested in the concept or um, the hypothesis of me, because now you're expecting me just to give you a pretty baby, just like with the light skinned baby. How about if you don't have a light skinned baby? Are you going to blame me for that? If your baby is not as beautiful as you want, what about if it turns out to be that part-time 6? Are you going to be mad at me for that? Your DNA too. Your DNA too. Maybe we need to go to some family reunions so we can look and compare to see which side to blame. Yeah, I'm petty. I don't care. But there's so many men out there who are insensitive and they are not understanding or compassionate, but then they get frustrated when they can't get a date. They can't stand not being able to get a date. But then, like, even at my church, or even when I talk here or listen to the reasons why women marry and stuff, security. If we can't have like security after we have a baby, it's like when we marry, like with the vows and things like that, we are entrusting you with our bodies. We are entrusting you with our self-esteem. We are entrusting you to be able to hold us down to the point where we don't have to be scared of you not loving us anymore. Because having a baby is a big deal. And especially for the woman who is producing this child, and it's already going to be like that's like one of the most personal things that you can, in relationships, you can go through, that a man will never understand. And yes, I don't have a child, but I trust me, I know about that. And Men will never understand that. They want to put the woman down. They want her to heal immediately after one of the most amazing things. And some people are like, well, all women can have kids. Not all. And some women, they try and try over and over again. But sometimes it's health reasons or many reasons. And then men blame women for that too. I I know a man who divorced his wife because, like, after years of trying, they went to the doctors, and the doctor said it was because of a health condition that she had. And he told her that she should have figured this out before they got married or before they started dating. But if she is a church person and she, like, well, I don't know her, sexual, whatever, but it's like, you don't really just, especially like with the baby part, like maybe she was probably waiting until she got married. Like, that's one part I do know about her. And so how is she supposed to know that if she never tried? And part of me is like, okay, with the OBGYN, like when we start dating or even throughout our dating lives, do we check in to see the percentage rate and things like that? Or do we, like, while they're looking under the hood, do we try to make sure that everything's in shape in case he wants to propose, in case he wants to get married, in case he does, in fact, want to have children? And now he's trusting your body to be able to make his children. But men don't know how stressful that is. A lot of men don't understand the mental and the physical that it causes, that having a baby, pregnancy has, miscarriages have, and or the decision of the next steps, even like planning to be a mother. Because guess what? After you deliver the baby, breastfeeding. And it's like, men will never understand that the bond and the extra work that is placed on a woman. And a lot of men have such high expectations of a woman, or when, even as a society, when we see moms take their kids to the park or take them to school, that's expected. But then when we see a dad, we're like, oh, way to go. You're such an amazing dad. No, they're the dad. That's their job. And we have to remember, if we're going to congratulate the dad, we have to congratulate the mom. If we're going to say that the dad is going over and beyond and the mom is doing that too, we have to remember to do that as well. Because too many men have such big egos. So many men expect so much out of women, and especially even physically. Some of them, they nag or complain to the woman that they don't want to wait that long for her to heal up. They don't want to wait that long for her to cook a roast. They don't want to wait that long for her to be mentally stable and, like, able to either work out or go on walks or do whatever to get the body that their husband or boyfriend remembers. And it's like a lot of men, once they start gaining weight, they just say they have a dad bod. And there's a huge difference. It's like, it's really annoying and frustrating when I hear some men say that, and especially when I even hear pastors, like some of these mega pastors on YouTube, when they post and they say how women aren't taking care of themselves and they want women that look like Melania. Yeah. But then you look at them and I guess they look like the orange guy. I mean, I guess they're the same 1 out of 10. I mean, but that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. And trust me, I'm not anything special, but it's just crazy how a lot of these men who they refuse to have a part-time six, but then they're a six, a five, a four, a three, a two themselves. But they expect such beautiful, and it's just like, and 24/7. and 24/7. Like when a lot of these women, on top of having babies, some of them have their own business, or they work, or they're dedicated to other projects, and some of them, again, mental and physical health. But so many men don't care, and or they don't acknowledge, or oh, she's so too emotional, she's so emotional, oh, she's blah blah blah, I just wish, like, no. And then some of them end up cheating because cannot they're not mentally mature enough to handle a woman who has just had a baby. But then they keep saying it's the mom's job, it's the woman's job. Come on now. You lie to us, then you gaslight us, and then you trap us. And so many of you guys who are doing all of this mess, you need to stop. You need to stop. Because if you don't understand and appreciate a woman with all of her capabilities and all of the wonder and beauty of being able to have a child, then you should not have a child in the first place. Because you will never understand the pain and the giving and the selflessness it takes in order to make a baby. You will never understand that at all. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.